What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals. We're going to talk about all cosmetics in Marvel Rivals Season 1, full Battle Pass, all skins, watching a video from Iron Smash Web. We're going to be talking about physical video game sales collapse in the UK last year. We're also going to watch or talk about Bethesda Veterans says that players are fatigued by seamlessly endless games. Right? So, like, really big, bloated games is what we're going to talk about. And then we're going to watch a video also called Failed Games Are Winning. Robert Jones posted this video in our Discord, so we're going to watch this and see. It's a really small content creator like myself. He's got about 530 subscribers. I watched the first couple of minutes. It's only about an 11-minute video, and I figured why not watch it on the stream and give feedback to what he's saying, reaction to it. 30, it doesn't sound like your first time writing songs. I found my passion, Jones. I found my passion. I was thinking while doing this, I was like, what if I did a channel or a segment, I should say, an upload where I give the daily news, but in song format? Huh? What about that? What about that? It'll be like a 5-minute, 10-minute long video, and it's just done in song. It'll be like a musical, but for the daily news with a certain type of grind. You know what I mean? Not this channel, like not this show, but just like an upload. See how it goes. The news done in song format. It's like the Joker. Who knows? Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Who knows? What's going on, Z? What's going on, Robert Jones? San Diego. Oh, you lived in San Diego for 17 years. Oh, yeah, the fires over there are crazy, man. Here's the thing, though. Doesn't that happen? And I'm not trying to be, like, just kind of, like, brush it off as, well, it's California. No, it happens all the time, doesn't it? What's going on, Jason? It happens all the time over there. It's the same time every year. It's the dry season. Someone throws a cigarette on the ground, and it ignites the entire place. It's just right now it's in Palisade, right? That's crazy. Style of Disney animation ballad. Well, did you hear that one song I just did with the microtransactions? That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of some sort of musical from like a Disney show. That's exactly how it is. It's in LA. What's going on, Posse? Isn't Palisade around the LA County? Am I wrong about that? Oh, Pacific Palisades fire. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I was like, I could have sworn it's in the Palisades. 3 fires now triangulating around Burbank. Oh, man. So literally, and it's a joke, but it's not a joke. Literally, Hollywood's on fire. Like, Hollywood is literally on fire. Come on, Argus. That's not what the movie industry was looking for. All right. Let's start off with physical video game sales collapsed in the UK last year. Okay. Now, we've always talked about, I feel like my camera is a little shifted. We always talk about how more and more people are buying digital. We talked about GameStop yesterday. We talked about how, GameStop closed 300 more stores quietly. And everyone's like, no, I can't believe GameStop's closing. And it's like, you ever see that meme with the little kids like shifty eyes? You know what I mean? Like, what is everyone talking about? Like, the people confused about GameStop closing and like, I can't believe it's happening. It's like, well, it's happening because no one's buying games, physical games, right? The last hope was UK because those are the people that actually still like physical games the most. They also kept track of physical games, and any kind of inkling of sales. We always looked at UK to tell us about physical sales to get a gist of what was happening in the industry. So now physical video game sales collapsed in the UK last year. The UK digital game revenue also fell slightly in a tough year in the industry. Okay, video game revenue in the UK dropped 4.4%, or 4.6 billion in 2024. It's been revealed. Now, this is driven mainly by the collapse of physical game revenue in the region, with just 324.4 million generated by sales of box games in the UK last year. That's dropped nearly 35% over 2023. That's a huge drop. Okay, the data is courtesy of Entertainment Retailers Association, based on the data from the Nielsen GfK India and GSD. The digital market fared better, with the 4.29 billion generated via console, PC, mobile, tablet game sales. And however, this is still a 1% drop over the year before. Okay, so they even sold less digital media, 1%, but still less. Okay, according to the data, the PC download sales were down 5%. Console download sales were also down 15%. Mobile and tablet games rose to 2.6%, and subscription revenue increased by 12%. Uh-oh. Does that mean the increase of 12% in subscription services? Does that mean that Xbox Game Pass is working? Does that mean GeForce NVIDIA is working? This means that the video game market will still sits behind film and video in the UK for the second consecutive year. Now, the best-selling game in the UK was EA Sports FC 25, which shifted 2.9 million copies in 2024. Okay, reveals that the 80% of its sales were digital stores. Okay, so 80% of the EA Sports game, EA Sports is 80% was digital. It says, quote, after the breakneck growth of recent years, it's no surprise that the games market has slowed down, but it remains a giant, said the ERA boss Kim Bailey. Despite the attraction of digital business models to developers, we believe physical still has a role to play. Well, yeah, I've said this in the past. I don't think it's going to go away, right? Like, we still have record players. We still have tape cassettes and stuff like that because people still like that type of stuff, right? I don't think it's going to get just obliterated off the complete utter earth, but obviously it's going to diminish dramatically. And it's never going to come back. I don't think we'll ever, at least I don't think in my lifetime, okay, that physical media of music, movies, video games will ever come back to what it was that we know of, right? Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor, but the company has confirmed plans to do so during its final fiscal year, which ends in March of 2025. I missed the other part here. It says the games market is expected to improve in 2025 with a series of big game releases headlined by Grand Theft Auto 6 and a successor to the Nintendo Switch. Now, Nintendo's over here keeping digital media alive. Physical media alive. Nintendo's over here keeping physical media alive with their, hopefully the Switch 2 still has the cards. It looks like from all the leaks that we've seen so far about what the Switch 2 is, they're still using the exact same card system or whatnot. It's just... I said something in the past because Sony had a patent on this hard drive type of stuff. We talked about maybe about 2.5, 3 years ago, where I could see that the games are getting so big, okay, that they could literally sell you a hard drive. And they kind of do this now, certain promotions and stuff like that, where they sell a hard drive and the game's on the hard drive. You buy the hard drive and it comes with the game type of thing. I can see this being a thing where you're buying different hard drives and it has a certain amount of games already on there that comes with the hard drive. I could see something like that happening. There was and the cartridges that they had that Sony had a patent for looked like the old school, like Nintendo cartridges that you would like plug in, right? And we talked about that years and years ago. I don't know, maybe something like that happens where it's physical, but the game is digital. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a digital game, but it's on a physical item, and you're buying the physical item like a cartridge, but it's not really a cartridge. But who knows, right? So the UK is now gone completely, well, I don't want to say completely digital, but 80%, right? Or 35% drop. 80% sales of EA Sports is for the soccer game is digital. And the biggest thing here is that the subscription model has risen 12% over there. So if that's getting PlayStation Plus, if that's getting Game Pass, that's getting GeForce Now, they're going. That's a big growth there. 12% is a big growth for the subscriptions revenue. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you're watching this after the fact, let me know in the live chat. What do you think? Are you one of those people who's just holding on and you're never going to let go of physical media? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in live chat. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. What's going on, Hilly? What's going on, Eclipse? Dark Taco, Argus, Crowded House, Hilo. Good morning, good morning. Argus says there is no saving GameStop. They're to add trends to their business that everyone does better. Digital platforms to do selling games better. Yeah, I've said what to do with GameStop. I think you got to make GameStop, and I know it doesn't seem like it's a good idea, but you got to start making them into places, because there's no place for kids really to hang out, right? Like teenagers, not many people are going to comic book stores and hanging out. Not many people are going. You got to make GameStop a place where people come, sort of like a modern day arcade, okay? Where you put stuff on free play. People can come and test out the new games or play with their friends instead of being online. You have that social aspect. And the only reason I say, well, the reason I think it would work is my son, who's 10, okay, just like when we were kids, loves playing games online, but he says it's not the same playing with someone online as it is when playing someone. Like my nephew and my son started playing Nintendo's Smash Brothers Ultimate, right? And they had another friend that was over, and they were just playing, and they were having a blast, man. They were having a blast. They were also playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, the roguelike one, on the Switch, and they were having a blast. And when I looked at that, I was like, that's what the kids need, man. They need more couch co-op. They need some place where they can hang out and like just shoot the shit. You know what I mean? Like hang out and have fun. And I think that's what GameStop should focus on. I think they should make it like internet cafes or whatever you want to call it. But that's what they need to do. Yes, the subs were working. Microsoft was thinking long term. Oh, of course. We on this channel, we compared Microsoft's Game Pass to what Netflix was. We compared it to when they started Game Pass and when Netflix started, and the amount of subscribers they had each year. And Game Pass is almost on the exact same trajectory the first 10 to 15 years, like slot, almost to the T. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like the 7th or 8th year, which I think we're at right now, it started arcing up faster and faster for Netflix. And I maybe that's what's going to happen. Obviously, it's just a projection for what happens to Game Pass, but we'll see. Crowd says it will get substantially more expensive to enjoy your physical media, and they will give everyone an incentive to abandon it. Sure, but they're, again, Crowded, I don't think it's going to go away completely. We still have record players, right? We still have VHSs. We still have places that people buy like physical media. And there's a smaller market, but it's still there. I don't think it's going to go away completely. Come on, Travis. Travis says, fuck cold weather. This is why I'm sick. Well, that's why it's called a cold. I don't know if you know this. This is why your body is at 98 degrees, and your body, when it goes below the temperature and it's cold outside, it kind of makes your body dormant. And this is why viruses can come in and start affecting you. Hence why it's called a cold. So this is why you wear sweaters and jackets and keep your body warm to stop the cold. So a disc? Games will be tied to more collectibles. Yeah, I guess. Like if you're buying something and you're buying like a statue and the game comes with it and stuff like that. I mean, they do that now. Everybody says Xbox could do that with the Seagate expansion port. Yeah, and they could, you buy a 512 or 1 terabyte card, Krebsy. You remember that story, Krebsy, that we did years ago? I know you were here. They had those big cartridges. Let me see if I could find that story. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I could find that. I think it was Sony patent. It was like a hard drive. It was years ago. Is this it? No, that's not it. This is it right here. This is it right here. This is back in fucking 2019. Okay. 2019. We did a story, right? Feels like yesterday. Okay. Sony's cartridge patent may describe a custom external SSD for PlayStation 5, right? This is before the PlayStation 5 came out. We talked about this stuff. Okay. And what does it look like, chat? That literally looks like cartridges. Okay. Now, obviously, here we are years later. They haven't done it, but they have a patent. They have a patent for it. But this is what we had a conversation about on GXG years ago, 5 years ago, like season 6 of it. What's going on, gamer? Morning, Wonder Rose. What's going on, Titan? Water Bear, good morning. Big Bo, what's going on? Jason says the next generation will never understand couch gaming with friends. They're slowly bringing it back. They're slowly bringing it back. My son likes to play on the same screen with the split screen stuff on a lot of games that we have. Eclipse says, yeah, we have an arcade around us, and they also have Fortnite where you can also play it. It's an awesome place to be. That's what I'm saying. You know, as much as we, old, grouchy old guys and gals in the world, right, where we don't like being around people, when you're younger, you like being around people. Do you know what I mean? Like, we want to play with people. Like, obviously, we like hanging out with people. Like, we're hanging out with each other right now, but we're not in the same room together, okay? But we like bantering back and forth. We like having this conversation. We enjoy other people's company, okay? The world has changed, though, and a lot of us don't want to be in the same room as people, but kids like to hang out with kids. You know why? Because they go to school together, right? They go to school together. They hang out with each other, right? But a lot more kids nowadays are like homeschooled, okay? And I'm not saying that's bad in any way, shape, or form, but they also don't build up that skill of working with others if they're only working with themselves at home or with their brothers and sisters or maybe a couple neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get out in the world to, like, hang out with people. Travis says, yes, but you also got to remember that this is what gamers thing would work. But GameStop being run by non-gamers don't care what the real gamers want. I don't think that's really it, Travis. I think GameStop has to adapt as a business. And gamers want games, and they're trying to give them games, but the industry is working against what GameStop's doing. And GameStop can't compete because if the people that are making the stuff make digital, then how do you do what gamers want for GameStop, right? I mean, it's easy for me to say they should make an internet cafe, but how do they make the business model? Do they charge an hourly rate? Do they charge, like, how do they get people in? I mean, you give me some money and some time, I can come up with a good business plan for them. Robert Jones says that could work. They could also could shut down all the stores and do used shipping only. Yeah, I guess they would make a lot of money on the shipping cost, though, right? Also lose a lot of money on that ship. Get an espresso and log into playing games. I used to do that when I was in college. I didn't have a powerful computer. I had a laptop, but I wanted to play Star Wars Galaxies. So when I was done with class, I would go over to the internet cafe and I would log in. I would rent an hour or two to just sit there and play Star Wars Galaxies. Argus says, got to turn in GameStops into Korean-style gaming cafe. There was a place or an article that we read about some of the GameStops were doing that back in the day as well. I like the gaming cafes, but they never seem to last. I think it's because they don't do what they're supposed to do. They think if they put games there that people are just going to walk in and start playing. They have to have events. They have to have, like, little tournaments. They have to, like, try to make deals with certain, like, for instance, if I owned a mom and pop cafe, arcade type of thing. Right now, Marvel Rivals is a banger. You know what I mean? If they could do a local tournament, reach out to NetEase, Marvel Rivals, and be like, I want to do like set up a tournament, blah, 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 make it a thing, and people can come in and play. That's always fun. Like, you watching people play online is one thing, but having a crowd behind you while you're playing and then talking shit to each other while you're playing games, that's like hot dogs, and you know what I mean? That's like a hot dog and a drink at a ballpark, you know? It just works together. What's a big American arcade chain? There's none anymore. They're all independent. Waterbear says GameStop should pivot into game arcade, computer LAN parties, arcade games, big screen gaming, etc. Yep, 100%. This is Game Pass's year 7. Yeah, and I forget that. I would have to look it up again, Mo, but I think year 7 is when Netflix started. Between 7 and 11, that's not a joke, but between years of 7 and 11 is when Netflix started exponentially gaining subs. Danny Owen says, the other day I watched a video where a bunch of dudes brought TVs and PlayStation 5s and had a LAN party playing Marvel Rivals. It looked like a lot of fun. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Like last night, we played with a bunch of members and stuff, right? Not even members, just community guys that are here, right? And you know what? It would have made it better if we were all in a room together, talking shit and playing the game together, right? That would have made it even better. Like Marvel Rivals is fun by yourself. It's a lot better with friends. It would be even more fun if you're in the same room with people playing that game. Hilly says, I'm behind you. You're behind me. 30, this chat is now a movie called 25 Grumpy Old Men. I would watch it. If you don't hang out when you're young, you don't learn how people are. Exactly, Sarge. We're breeding a culture of people that don't want to hang out with people. Even though there are, there's plenty of schools and stuff that still want to hang out. Like I said this when COVID happened and there was like no contact with other kids. We would go to a playground and no one would be there. It was like 28 days later. It was weird. Like you're at a playground and there's nobody there. Those kids need that interaction when they're younger, man. They need to hang out with people. They need to build those skills up. Krebsy says, doesn't matter what kids want. If the parents say you aren't leaving this house, Jimmy, you aren't going to get hit by the cat, kidnapped, shot. I don't want you to pick up. No, it's exactly right. Just take the iPad. Yeah, and that's a problem, Krebsy. That's a fundamental problem with society. My son goes outside. My son plays with the iPad. He plays video games. He goes to the park. He hangs out with people. Like there needs to be a good balance of everything. You don't want to just be a hermit. You don't want to make your kids a hermits either. Everyone's got their own. Raise your kid how you want, but don't be surprised when your kid doesn't come out of his shell because he's in his bedroom playing video games all the time or reading books all the time and not socializing with anybody. Argus says, 30, did you see Facebook/Instagram doing less censorship, especially in current controversial topics and community notes instead of fact checkers? They're aiming to be more like X. Oh, yeah, I did. And they brought in Dana White on the board of directors for Facebook. Very interesting. Very interesting. My favorite gaming cafe in college got shut down because of it turned into a brothel. Nice. Yeah. It's a different co-op experience. Yeah, because in the LAN party, you can actually punch the hacker. That's right. Like, you're fucking cheating, Ted. Fucking Ted. Travis says, 30, and even more fun if you're all wearing different Marvel t-shirts or drinking. I don't drink, but I hear that it makes people like Eclipse more fun. Oh, I see that little shot at Eclipse. That's all right. You guys can banter at each other. Isn't like PlayStation 6 and have the same processor as a PlayStation 5 again? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't followed that story, Crowded. Jason says, I rewatched that part where I killed the entire team yesterday. So satisfying. It was a good move. It's a good move. And I feel like I had just a little part of that, Jason, because I think it was me and Warlock Me and Adam Warlock were in the middle, and everyone was attacking us, and you're just like, this is my time to shine. And just melted them all. Co-op with expensive matchmaking. Is that an upgrade from cafe to brothel? Did the gamers grow up to the owners change? They're like, yeah, you know what's bringing in more money? A brothel. Ain't wrong. Ain't wrong. Yeah, last night we had a bad arc going, and then the last 2 hours we turned it around. We were like had 11 losses, 8 wins, 11 losses, and then we ended up with like 11-11. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, where is it? Let's go with, we got the physical games. We did the physical game thing. Let's go with the Bethesda veterans. The next story here. Let's go with the Bethesda veterans. Talking about players are fatigued by seamlessly endless games, right? So I've talked about this in the past as well. Like large games are fun, but they're, I don't want to say they're daunting, but they kind of are daunting, right? Like if you have a game and you're like, this is a 46-year-old guy talking, right? Not a kid that's got no job and can play games all day, okay? Or someone that's an adult that can play games all day. If I'm looking to purchase a game, right, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, right? So if I look at a game and I see Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out, right, minus all the drama behind it, but I look at it and go, okay, how big is Assassin's Creed? It's asking for $70. I can put 100 hours in that game easily. I said, but do I want to do the same thing over again, right? So Assassin's Creed comes out like every year. It's like Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed, and it's like, do I want to put my time into that? Or do I want to put my time into, you know, a smaller game that's 20 hours or 30 hours instead of 100 hours, okay? Do I want to play 2 30-hour games, or do I want to play 1 100-hour, 150-hour game? I'm not talking about free-to-play games. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about a game that you purchase, and it's like your time, right? So do you want to sit down and play 100 hours? Sure. But do you want to play a game that's just open world and constantly just keeps on going, and it's like a season pass, you know, whatever type of stuff? Most people don't want to play games like that anymore. They want a game where they know there's an ending. They know that they buy the game, play the game, put down the game, and it doesn't matter what the articles say about 90% of the population stop playing Starfield. Yeah, but people bought the game or paid for the service to play the game, and when they're done playing the game, if that's 100 hours in, if that's 5 hours in, they played the game and then they moved on, right? Which is what normal people do. Okay, so let's look at this. Bethesda veteran says that players are fatigued by seamlessly endless games. Okay, between massive open world games like Elden Ring and upcoming Grand Theft Auto 6, or live service titles like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Marvel Rivals, there's no shortage of games that can eat up players' free time. And this is why the industry may have reached a tipping point in seamlessly endless games, according to Bethesda veteran Will Sheen. Okay, Sheen, is it Shen? Shin? What has previously has led quest designers on Starfield recently shared his thoughts about players being put off from jumping into large games during appearances. Okay, he accepted that some of the previous Bethesda titles, including Skyrim, which you can play pretty much forever, may have contributed to the player fatigue. Well, yeah, of course it did. Of course Skyrim contributed to this. There's still people playing Skyrim, and then they release Skyrim every like 3 years. We're like, here's another Skyrim. Here's an updated Skyrim. Here's a modded Skyrim. It's like, of course, everyone's like, yeah, everyone likes Skyrim. We should make a game like Skyrim. Let's do more games like that. Okay, so you can play pretty much forever. It says also may contribute to the fatigue. However, he contends that the oversaturation of giant games leaves players without enough time to fully invest in new titles. Sure, and that also goes with games that are free to play. Right? If I'm playing and I'm having fun in Fortnite, or I'm having fun in Marvel Rivals, or I'm having fun in Apex Legends, and I no money out of pocket, I could just play those games straight up with no investment except for my time. Why would I go spend $70 on a game that I might put 5 hours in and not do it, right? So what I was talking about earlier was just games that you pay $70 for. Do you want a really long game or do you want a shorter game? But now you put in free to play games, okay, or live service games on top of that, and it completely throws the stat out the window because people are like, why would I pay $70, $100, $120 when I'm having plenty of fun in this free to play game that's not asking for $70 up front, right? So it says, quote, we're reaching a point where people are fatigued or large sections or growing sections of the audience is becoming fatigued at investing 30 plus, 100 plus hours into a game, explained Shen, because they already have that. They already have games that will also be continually coming back to, or adding another one to that list is a tall order. It's always that tall order. Well, on top of that, it's also the, what's it called? The cost fallacy, lost cost fallacy, or whatever that you put in. If you're buying a skin, and then all of a sudden you don't play that game anymore, you kind of wasted your money, right? So you start putting money towards the season pass, and then you have to buy the season pass. So you're buying the season pass, and you want to complete the season pass. But you're not just playing one game with the season pass, you're playing 2 games with season passes that constantly update every single year, multiple times, right? So you're constantly putting that time in, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to spend 30, $70 or $100 on a game, but I'm going to spend 30, $70 or $100 on a game on free to play because I'm buying the skins, and if I buy the skin, I would like to play the game because now I have that skin, and now I want to play the game with the skin, right? Sunk cost fallacy. Thank you for that. Yeah. So because it's that, already have that, and this is why that's that a tall order. So Shen also pointed out the success of shorter games like Astrobot and Mouthwashing as titles that also could be easily enjoyed by players without having to invest a massive amount of time. He also suggested that the short length of those games allows more players to create a community around them because they've also been able to engage fully with the entirety of the product. Okay. Yeah, I can see that, right? Like you play a game, you beat in like 8 to 10 hours, and then someone else beats, and you have like a little, hey, did you like that game? Yeah, it was a fun game. It was a fun 10-hour game. It was really good. This was a cool spot. But time and value, right? The free-to-play games are blurring those lines now because they're coming out complete. Free-to-play games are coming out complete, and they're good. Where games that are coming out that are $60, $70, $100, $120 are coming out broke, buggy, and unfinished, and get fixed over 18 months. Okay, so the long AAA titles go hand in hand with escalating budgets for video games. Naughty Dog co-founder Andy Gavin recently revealed that one of the reasons he agreed to sell his company to Sony was to prevent the massive development costs from sinking everything he and his team had built prior to 2001. Those rising expenses also contributed to the devastating jobs losses in the video game industry last year. So basically his sunk cost fallacy, right, was in there because of all the stuff they put into the actual game. So is that the end of that article? This is a different article. Reveals the budget of original game. Yeah, so that's a different article. So yeah, so I guess that's a weird ending of an article. Where I'm confused, chat. Okay, yeah, it just keeps going. All right, so that's the ending of the article there. So I think this is a problem, but there's so many games, like what, 19,000 games come out for Steam. If 5 of those games are live service games and you're playing those games, are you going to get to the other 19,000 or 18,995 games? Probably not, right? It doesn't matter if they're 2 hours long or 10 hours long. You're enjoying yourself in that game that you're playing, right? So it's a little daunting when I see a game, right? And I said this with Star Wars Outlaws. I was like, I don't know if I want to buy that game because there's about 100 hours in the game. We put 56 to 60 hours, I think, in Star Wars Outlaws. And I enjoyed my time with it, right? Indiana Jones, we put 40 hours in, just over 40 hours, right? I enjoyed my time. I could put more time into it. But I like a game where I can beat it, put it down, and enjoy it. That's it. I don't need to put 100 hours in before it gets good, right? I don't need to put 200 hours in before all of a sudden, oh, that's the end game, right? Type of stuff. Now, Path of Exile is out there, okay? But that's a free-to-play game. Right, well, it will be a free-to-play game. Right now, you have to pay $30 to $400, all depending on where you are. But these types of games are chipping away, I should say, like a beaver to a tree, right? Like they're chipping away at it, and once the tree has no more wood at the bottom, it fucking collapses. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of these games with the budget. where you have a God of War, you have a Last of Us. What's a good balance? 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours for a game? Let me know what you guys think. Like, what do you guys think in chat? What do you guys think in the comment section down below? If you're watching this after the fact, what's your game that you're that you look forward to? Are you looking forward to just a 10 to 15 hour campaign and then put it down? Are you looking forward to that multiplayer game that's free to play and you're putting thousands of hours into it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of other videos. Thanks for watching. Let me see what you're doing here. Argus says exactly. As long as there is an end to the game and the completion of the collections and the content, this is not going to really cause a fatigue. This is games like Destiny, literally never end. It won't. Well, did you see the article about 90% of the population of Destiny, Argus, is left? Which I'm like, is that a bad thing? It's been out for 10 years. It's been out for 10 years. And there's nothing left. They said it was over. The final shape. They're continuing the story, but people are just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this, right? I left in year 5.5, 6, right? I left 4 years ago. I'm like, still going. Eclipse says, I think that's Skyrim type of game. That's what it looks like. I haven't played it yet. Let's see. Argus says, but games like Ark best played with other people. Playing those survival games solo with the fact lead eventually burn out to boredom. Yeah, I kind of play those games until I get either my fill of it or if it's got some sort of campaign main story type of thing. That's how I played Lost Ark. Lost Ark you can still play, but I played through the campaign and stopped, right? I played Diablo to the story and then stopped. Give me 1 second. Thought someone was at my door for a second, but someone's just walking the dog in front of it. My dog's going ape shit right now. Waterbear says, I do know one thing. One of the devs behind Avowed has already put the game in a bad spot just based on his hatred for Elon Musk. Yeah, we talked about that a couple days ago. Lucas says, Resident Evil does the best. Resident Evil games can take you 8 to 12 hours to beat. But once you know what you're doing, you can then drop that to under 2 hours. True replayability. I think 20 to 30 hours is more than enough for me at least. At this time in my age, gamer, I would agree. Like, I was okay with Suicide Squad, just the campaign, right? I think we beat the campaign. I think it was like 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours. Maybe it was 15. And I was okay with just the story, right? Everyone else is like, it sucks as a looter shooter. It's the game itself for the story, I was content with. I was content with Gotham Knights, the story for that game as well, right? I was okay with Outriders being what it was. I was okay with all of these multiplayer co-op type of games just doing the campaign and then putting it down afterwards. Krebsy says, people aren't sick of long games. They're sick of getting distracted by other things to drop their attention. People still play games for hundreds of hours. Sure, but what they're saying, Krebsy, is if there's already 100 games out there that have 100 hours to play in each game, and people are playing those games, adding another game that's 100 hours plus in that pool of 100 plus hour games, people are just getting tired of it. They're just tired of the same Assassin's Creed over and over, and then all of a sudden there's a brand new IP that's like Assassin's Creed, and it's an open world game. It's like, right? There's only a few spots that people play. Hence why 6 games are the top of what 65-70% of the people playing is Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Roblox, right? Ghostfire says, I love the game. I can easily put in a few hundred hours into. Those games usually take me to 50 hours. Kylo says 20 to 30 hour campaign, 60 to 80 hours to complete. Billy says DayZ has perfect balance for ongoing. No session is the same. A new map every decade or so. PvP elements make an ongoing with PvE. Can't make enough content. Eclipse says, yeah, it's funny that that Kindred is playing Ark right now. And he says it's a huge ass base he has to protect. So he's clocked in. He's got a job right now. Argus says, I haven't been playing Destiny 2 for a while now either. It literally stops me from playing all other games, and I want to play other games. And Destiny doesn't even feel fun. That's why I stopped playing. There was a point where I was playing, I was like, I'm missing all of these other games. And to this point right now, like, I really like Marvel Rivals, but it's hard as a content creator. I'm like, I should make Marvel content. I should make Marvel Rivals and play it every day and do all this stuff, get on the bandwagon with it. And I'm on the bandwagon, but at the same time, as a content creator, I'm like, do I want to throw my hat in that ring? Because I don't want another situation where I'm just playing Destiny, where I'm just playing Marvel Rivals. I like that I'm bouncing back and forth between different games and whatnot when it comes out. Lucas says, in general, from 8 to 20 hours is a sweet spot for me. There's obviously exceptions. Yeah, I think each their own. You know what I mean? Some people want bigger, longer games. Other people want short games because they don't have time. It's very daunting for someone with a full-time job, with kids, with a family, to go, oh yeah, the next game I'm going to buy is 100 hours. That's the game you're playing for the rest of the year. Sarge said they said 10 years. It's been 10 years. The last title was the final shape. Feels like an ending. So people are done. What else do you want them to do? The game is done. Right. Even though they're continuing it, but it's done. Yeah, people are like, oh, I'll see you later. We'll see you during Destiny 3. Waterbear says, Outriders was fun. I wish I had more content at the time or during the Horde mode. Was annoying. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed the game. Put it down. Moved on. Jax82 says, Suicide Squad is part of the free monthly games in PlayStation Plus right now, playing it right now. The campaign is a good campaign, Jax. With all the hate that people gave it because they mistreated Batman and Conley and all this other stuff, it's like, yeah, Kevin Conley or Conroy was so upset. He took the job. He knew what he was getting himself into, right? People are like stepping up for the guy who's dead now, right? Who was upset to play Batman. He's like, he took the job. Like, the campaign's good. It's a story. It got emotion out of people. They didn't like the ending because of whatever happened. You know what I mean? Is it great? Is it award-winning? No, but it's a good game. I thought it was a good comic book story. Right? Take the bad guys, make them good guys, kill the good guys. The latest parkour video of AC Shadows looks pretty good. I'm skeptic of AC Shadows because I knew it wasn't going to be ready when it came out in November, and then they delayed it to February, and I still don't think it's going to be ready. So if people if people are excited about it, cool. But I would hold off and see if it's actually done. Excuse me. I get what they are saying, but when the game is fun, it becomes a chore to keep up with. This is when it becomes mundane and boring. Sure, but that's different for everybody, right? When I call it the Wizard of Oz effect, right? I call it you peek behind the curtain and see the wizard. Right? You enjoy a game, you enjoy a game, you enjoy a game until you notice the thing, whatever the thing is, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm done. This is not what I thought it was. I like that I could pick up and put down Marvel Rivals. Yeah, you could play it nonstop. This is why I don't buy season passes. Once I buy the season pass, Argus, I feel like I have to play the game. Where if I just casually play the game and I complete the season pass, then I'll buy the season pass. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go over the season pass stuff that came out for Marvel Rivals in just a second. Krebsy says, I wish I had the issue of having too many games I'd like to play. Sarge says, how would Destiny 3 be different than just releasing more of the same content? They would have to change it up, move it to a different section, new planets, new things, completely different. I mean, you know where I stand, Sarge. I said that Destiny should have changed it and they should have put other factions in instead of just humans. They should have put other factions that you can play. So if you want to be like a Cabal Guardian, you can be a Cabal Guardian, right? If you wanted to be, you know what I mean? Like, they could have changed it up like that. Hilly says, I think that article misses the point. Length of game means jack shit. If the game is really fun for 20, 30, 40 or more, people will finish it. If it's fun for after 30, then people will bounce off. Yeah, I think you're right. It's missing a point, but I think I'm bringing up the point as well, right? If a game is you like and it's 8 to 10 hours, if it's a good game, you're going to play and put it down. I think what he is saying though in the article is that all of these games are just bloated. Skill Up has said this in the past too, Hilly. Like AC games are just bloated big to be big, right? So much so I think they said they shrunk down the last Assassin's Creed Mirage that came out, right? It's not as big as the other ones, but it's daunting. It's like people play like, God, I got so much to do, and now they feel like they have to play it, and they have other games in the background they want to play, but they can't. They're like, I gotta finish this game. It's like a chore after that. Wolverine says, I saw the last few minutes of your Rivals play last night. I said I missed it. Oh, well, we're gonna do it again, Wolverine. We're gonna do it again. It was fun. It was fun last night. I'll tell you what, some of the matches we were in, man, it didn't seem like quick matches, quick play. It felt really, really sweaty in some of the matches that we played. Like, if I go back and look at my history, the games I did good. But the games we just got owned. I was like, what's happening? It's like we would win 3 and then get tossed into a match of sweatfest. We won one game 99 to 100. Like, it was so close. All right, let's go to that. Let's go to what's happening with Marvel Rivals. Okay, we got 2 videos, but we're going to watch this one. This is from a channel called Iron Smash Web. Got 19,800 subscribers. Posted this. He's got about 3,000 views on it. He's going over all the cosmetics in Marvel Rivals Season 1, full battle pass, all skins. We're going to watch this because obviously I don't have time to go through all this shit. So we depend on other people on other channels that are doing these things and give them credit. You can get the link down below of the channel if you want to go support. Hit the likes, hit the subscribe buttons for these people for their channels as well. Okay, so let's get this going here. Let me see to make sure it's okay. All right, let's see what's happening with Marvel Rivals.
Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we have some brand new Marvel Rivals stuff because I got early access to Season 1, and we're going to be showing all of the new cosmetics.
Can I just say right off the bat, I really like what they're doing here with like the newspaper article with the Daily Bugle and having like articles and what's happening. And obviously, if you complete the thing on the side, it looks like you're getting some sort of Thor skin over here at the end. So this is the new gallery, I would think. Event.
Because I got early access to Season 1, and we're going to be showing all of the new cosmetics in Season 1. Ignore the fact that my name is this. It's
Why does he have Miller?
For a bit. But we're going to start off with the new heroes. With Mr. Fantastic first, we have his default.
I'll say it 1,000 times, man. They are doing a hell of a job with these skins, man. Like, just the character models, so good.
White costume right here. But we also have his first family costume, which
is good.
Essentially just replaces the blue parts with black and the white parts with blue. And it looks really, really good. People clearly like it because I made a tweet about it, and it's doing pretty good. The first family outfit is 600 units, so about $6. And then we have the maker skin, which is 1,600 units for the bundle or 1,400 for just the skin itself. Looks
1,400 for the skin, 200 for the emote, the tag, the spray.
Pretty good overall, I'd say. It does have this MVP screen. Pretty good looking. The double impact emote. We have the nameplate for the maker and a spray for him as well. We also have the default MVP screen for Reed right here. His default emote. We're going to go over the other emote right there in a minute. But first, we're going to go all the way down to the proficiency tab.
Oh, hold on. I want to go back. Hero uses reach 60 minutes, deal 10,000 damage, land 10 final hits, and enter a flattened state 15 times. Okay.
We have his default spray right here. We have his KO prompt and the second KO prompt right here. His Lord avatar which looks pretty good. Now, the next character we've got is Sue, Invisible
Yo, she looks great. She looks great.
Woman. Her default right here looks pretty good, and the recolor First Family, just like Reed, replaced
I kind of like I like the blue, but I like the white as well.
looks pretty
I think the white and blue looks good.
good, and the recolor First Family, just like Reed, replaces the blue and white with blue and black. And this, just like the last one, is
Yeah, great assets.
600 units.
Assets are fantastic.
We also have the Malice.
Bro. Tell me why the game is popular is not because of stuff like this, but the devs understand their clientele. Let's just say that. Okay? They understand the clientele.
Skin, which also looks
They understand the clientele.
really good. I think it looks better than the comic design, actually. This will be 1,400 for just the skin, or 1,600 for the bundle. We have the MVP screen for the Malice skin right here.
The skin designs, regardless of the assets, the skin designs that they're creating for this game is so fucking... They're on fire, man. They are so good.
Pretty good looking. The Inner Turmoil.
I've never been excited about... I don't buy microtransactions, guys. I earn the stuff and I try to get them, right? I don't really buy microtransactions for skins, but I'll tell you what, they're getting close.
Emote, the Malice nameplate, and the spray, which also includes the normal Sue right there, and her default.
That's a cool, actually. I like that. Hold on.
And the spray.
I like the spray. That's cool.
Which also includes the normal Sue right there, and her default MVP screen is right here. Walks out of her ultimate invisibility thing, essentially. Her default emote right there, and of course we have her proficiency stuff as well. Her default spray, her Captain KO prompt, and the Centurion KO prompt, which looks pretty good. I think I prefer the Reed one though. And then we have her Lord avatar icon. Now, those are the two new characters we have currently. The Thing and Human Torch will be coming in part 2 of season 1, and we'll have another video.
Look at this. Look at Wolverine, man. Wait till you see the Iron Man skin. Okay? The Iron Man skin is so good.
For that later, but for now, we're going to go over to the event. We're going to save the battle pass for last. In this event, you can get a whole bunch of stuff, including gallery cards, skins, and some...
I love this newspaper thing, right? I love this newspaper stuff. They've captured comic books, man.
Other special goodies.
I love it.
We're about to show you. First off, we have the Scientific Stretch Spray, and you can get this doing 2 separate things. And this is something new with the new event, which is called the Midnight Features event. I didn't say that before, but you basically just can choose to do one or the other challenges for a lot of these. And I think that that's a great addition, and it will definitely help compared to the last season. But we have this new spray.
To give a little lore, Manhattan may be the only major metropolis trapped in the state of eternal night.
You can get,
we'll let you guys read that when you get it.
as well as some other goodies. We're just going to go over the cosmetic
Look at this. They made it like a collectible card thing, like a box.
stuff. We have the Bats or Bust, which is the Doctor Strange dog ghost. Then we have also, there's this cool little thing that pops up on the side. You'll also notice that
That's Blade. You notice Blade right there? Look at Blade. That's Blade right there.
a certain character is right here behind Dracula, and that is Blade, I believe. We also have a vampire right here, and we have this Moon Knight spray called Mellowing Moon. And then the last one includes both a Herbie spray and a Mr. Fantastic emote called Mist Chant, which includes Herbie and the Darkhold. Pretty interesting right there. Next, we're gonna go over the other rewards, and you essentially get these for completing enough of the other challenges within this page. And there's also one page that is locked currently, and we don't have access to that yet. It unlocks in 5 days, but we have...
Who is that? That's Thor. That's Thor over there. But he looks like he's like demonic or some way. That looks like the Mjolnir is what he's holding up in the air.
The Thicker Than Blood gallery card, Ancient Game gallery card, Fall of Midtown gallery card, Midnight Missions gallery card, and the Reborn from Ragnarok Thor skin. And this
That looks good. That looks good, chat. God damn, I wish Marvel's Avengers had stuff like this.
is a really good looking one. It's essentially the classic Thor design, but the more
And this is free. You can earn this for free.
modern version that came out more recently. Here, it's 2007. But this is essentially the redesign of the classic version. And it does have this different looking hammer. And overall, I think it looks really good. Love the cape, of course. This is also free, and that's kind of a big deal because it's actually a really, really
Good skin.
looking skin. It is labeled as only a rare skin, I believe. Yeah, it is labeled as a rare one like the recolors, and I'm guessing it's just because that it doesn't have the MVP screen, similarly to the Punisher skin that was available with the Season 0 Battle Pass right here. Even though it was a different design, it didn't have all the MVP screen and spray and all that. Anyways, now the gallery cards we have not the best look at just because you have to unlock them to really get the full view of.
I love that they have these comics and then the stories that you click on. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to bring these to life with the videos that I'm doing, but there's got to be enough information of obviously each one that you click on, it has a dialogue type of thing that I'm going to make into audio format. So those of you that don't like to read, you can just listen to it in the background for the lore type of stuff. I'm trying to do those, okay? And the problem is to make them animated like I was doing, I have to get the assets and stuff like that in.
Of them, but we have this whiteout version. But over here, we're going to go over to the Season Pass now, or the Battle Pass, not Season Pass. And you'll notice that there's a few things straight off the bat. We have the Loki skin,
That Loki skin looks fucking badass as well.
Wolverine skin, and a Wanda skin, as well as the hold on, I gotta move my mouse out of the way. We have the now on this cover you can see the 3 skins: Loki, Wolverine, and Scarlet Witch. The Loki and Scarlet Witch
He's jumping. That's not me, by the way.
ones are not original, they're from the comics, and the Wolverine one is original. But you'll also see that we have the Darkhold right here, and when you click on it, it opens your battle pass. Now on the very first page we have Loki.
Look at Loki, man.
Which includes his all.
Now it's $10. It's $10 for the skin for the battle pass. Okay? And you get all these skins inside if you buy it for $10. Obviously you have to complete it, but once you buy the $10, you can unlock it any time, right? Because there's no FOMO. Okay? So just look at all these skins that you're getting for the $10. Meanwhile, you can buy one skin for 16 or one skin for 22.
All black, or all butcher as it's called here, skin. And this is a symbiote skin, if you didn't know. And it says, "Call me the Necro God, Loki the All Butcher, Loki the End." And you'll see that his staff is now a scythe, which I think looked really fun. I will let you know.
Is it a scythe or Sith? It's a scythe, right?
Anything that is labeled as
Or a sickle?
luxury is something that you'll need to pay for, while anything not labeled that is free. But we have that skin, and then we have his emote for that, Heed My Call. He kind of summons this little dagger, cuts his hand, it looks like. Then we have the All Butcher spray, and I'm assuming that he will use that dagger for his melee as well. Then we have the nameplate for Mr. Fantastic right here, the All Butcher nameplate for Loki, which is animated. Interestingly, I believe this is legendary. Yes, it is. This is one of 2 legendary skins in the battle pass. Then we have the End of Everything MVP screen for Loki. Pretty cool looking there. You'll also notice that when we go off of that, it should have, yeah, when you inspect the skin,
cool.
has a special intro animation as well, not just the MVP screen,
Bro.
since it is a legendary skin. And looks really good. Needless to say, also you can see that it has a special background since it is a legendary skin. Then we have the Blood Moon Knight.
This looks fucking fantastic. Look at this. The Blood Moon Knight. This looks better than the skin you got playing competitive to get to gold.
Which is a rare recolor of the main skin, and it is a all-black version of the normal outfit with some red, as well as a special design on the back of the cape. And it looks really, really good, needless to say. Then we have the Invisible Woman nameplate on the next page, the Rocket Raccoon emblem spray, which, yes, they are bringing these back from the early access period, and I'm assuming that they will all be available through battle passes. There is one that is labeled as from an event, but you
So they'll probably bring in the Venom blue skin that you guys showed me last night back into the game.
can't get it yet, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But then we have the Bounty
Not this season, but maybe down the line.
Hunter spray. Looks pretty good, and this goes for the Bounty Hunter rocket skin, which is also returning from the early access period, beta, etc. And really good looking skin, needless to say. We also have the Wanted Rocket MVP screen, also returning from the early access period. The Bounty Hunter nameplate and 100 lattice. You will be getting 600 lattice and 600 units in this battle pass. Next, we have the blue tarantula skin for Penny Parker, and
This is just a recolored skin. It looks good.
It's just a recolor.
Yeah,
but it looks pretty good, I'd say. It's just a blue version instead of red. Looks good. Then we have the Moon Knight emblem, the Loki emblem, and the Penny Parker emblem. Now, it looks like all of the emblems themselves are...
We're only on page
emblem
3.
Sprays are free,
Wait
which I
till
do
you
think is a
see
good
Iron
choice,
Man.
and I really like the emblems, honestly. I was actually kind of sad when they weren't back, and I was very happy to learn that they were gonna come back. But then we have 100 units, 100 lattice, and the Human Torch nameplate, which Human Torch isn't in the game yet, play as, but his nameplate is, and the things is as well. Next, we have the Scarlet Witch emblem and the Magneto emblem. This one is kind of labeled wrong. If you go over in the menu, it is labeled as from achievements, while the other ones all correctly say from Season 1 Battle Pass. But going back to the Battle Pass screen real quick, we have the King
Look at Magneto, man. King Magnus
skin, which looks insanely good, and this is kind of a style we're going to see in the future with a few other skins. This is the first and only current Magneto skin without a helmet, and we have a nameplate for this as well as a For All Mutants MVP screen where he's making essentially a red carpet for himself, which is pretty great looking. We also have the Past No More, where he pulls out his helmet and crushes it, and the House of M spray. Next, we have the Savage Submariner outfit, which is a rare one, so there's
that looks cool too, man.
MVP screen. Looks really good. It's kind of a merge of both the Rivals design as well as the classic design, and I think it looks really good, honestly. Probably will be...
I think they could do a Halloween event. They can do the zombie stuff, Krebsy, for Halloween. That's why I think they did this one.
Using this for a while for him. Then we have the Thing nameplate, 100 units, the Namor emblem, 100 lattice, the Darkhold, which is a collectible, and I called this previously, and I was actually completely right about that. If you don't know what a collectible is, you can essentially collect these and have a little lore thing that you get from it. I'm not going to read all that. You can pause it and read it if you want. We also have the 100 units and 100 lattice. Next page, we have the Eternal Night gallery card, or the Eternal Night Falls gallery card, which will also include some lore when you unlock it. Then we have the...
Bro, look at this skin. Look at this skin. I didn't know who the fuck this was when I saw it. I was like, who is that? I thought it was Moon Knight for a second, but then I looked at it and I was like, wait, that's Iron Man? This thing looks so badass.
Blood Edge armor for Iron Man, which looks absolutely amazing. Like, genuinely one of the best Iron Man designs I've ever seen. And it does include the kind of red glow.
Look at his gauntlets, right? Look at his shoulder pads. The face is like screaming and whatnot.
Like the Iron Man skin you can unlock with the special code. And geez, this looks just so good and definitely fits with the theme of the season. We also have the Iron Man emblem spray, the Blood Edge armor spray, 100 units, Subway Rat Blaster, which includes him killing a rat essentially with his red lasers.
Yeah, 100% it looks like Nova.
Not sure if maybe because of the emo, I'm wondering if maybe his projectile color will change. I'm guessing no, because that's not how the others have worked, but interesting to say the least. Then we have the Cleansing Edge MVP screen. Also, didn't say before, but these are all a part of the Gothic Recursion set of outfits. Blood Edge armor nameplate. Next, we have the Blood Soul.
This is Adam Warlock here. Right? This is another cool-looking skin.
Skin for Adam Warlock, which gives him this great staff with this bat on it. Absolutely amazing looking skin. Like, all of these just look so good. But This Adam Warlock skin looks amazing. Then we have the Adam Warlock emblem, the Blood Soul spray, the Innocence Reborn emote. Got a little bird. Then we have 100 Lattice, the Blood Soul nameplate, and the MVP screen. But Divine Ties looks pretty great. The Emporium Matron costume
Then you just have a nice, still a good skin with Scarlet Witch.
for Scarlet
She's on
Witch, which
page
is
9.
from the comics, I believe. Yeah, it is the Hellfire Gala outfit, and it has kind of this
It tells you what it's from.
galaxy thing, just like the Hela skin from the last season. And this is also a free skin, which is pretty nice. You can also get the Flamenco emote for free, 100 units. Then we have the MVP screen. Then we have the spray, 100 Lattice, the MVP screen right here. Then we have the nameplate. Next up, we have the...
I'm getting it just for this. But obviously, I'll put the time in before I pay for it, even though it doesn't expire.
final skin of the...
If I don't finish the battle pass before the end of the season, I'll pick it up. I want to keep continuing to get it. But this skin looks badass.
battle pass, and this is the Blood Berserker Wolverine skin. And his claws are red with this skin, as you can see right there. And they're kind of bloody looking. Then we have the Hone Claws emote, the 100 units, 100 Lattice. Then we have the Blood Berserker spray, which includes a Wolverine. The Blood Berserker nameplate, which
That nameplate's a badass.
is animated since this is a legendary skin. And the Blood Barrage MVP screen. Looks really good. And you'll also see that the skin itself, when you inspect it, has a special intro animation, just like the other legendary skins.
And this is great, coming back off of the conversation we just had about people having games that are played too long, right? Like this game, you just constantly come back. You're not solving this game. You're not beating this game, right? You're beating a season pass. You could put this game down, or you can continue playing it for hundreds and thousands of hours if you want to, right?
Really good looking skin, needless to say. Now, the last thing in the pass is the At Your Service gallery card, which includes all 4 of the Fantastic Four members. Now, this season will last 88 days, and
So obtain 1,200 more to unlock this page. So 1,200 coin, or the hell is it called? Chronos. Okay, you get what? How many do you get a day, and then how many do you get in a week with the weekly, and then how many do you get for, like, it's gonna take you a couple of weeks for sure if you're playing nonstop and you pick it up every single day to get this.
I do want to point out real quick that you do need to kind of buy some stuff before it goes away, because the current battle pass will no longer be available ever if you do not buy it now. Like if you go over to the previous battle pass on this page, you'll see that it says unowned battle pass. When I click on it, it says, sorry, you haven't acquired this, so you can no longer access.
Right, but if you buy it, then you can obtain it, right? And it's sort of like the same thing that Helldivers do, or Helldivers 2 does, right? If you buy the War Bond, right, then you can go back and use your War Bonds on whatever one you want to use. You just have to buy it, right? You have to buy it.
Access it. So if you want to make sure that you have the opportunity to unlock those in the future, you should probably go ahead and buy those. And similarly, in the store, the holiday skins, the Venom, Snow Symbiote, all of those are going to be going away in just a few days, and these will likely not come back at minimum
They'll come back. They'll come back during like the winter time and stuff like that.
until next winter, and that's assuming that they actually come back at all. So if you
I think they'll come back. There's no way someone will make a cosmetic like that to sit on the shelf and not make money off it again, right? They'll put it out there, right? The people that bought it that want it, and they'll put it out next year, because by next year, this year, next winter, there'll be people that didn't play the game early on, see this and be like, "Oh shit, I got to get that."
do have any
You're not gonna leave money on the table. You're not going to leave money on the table.
Any interest in any of those skins or the previous battle pass, I'd recommend buying those now before it is too late. Now, that is all of the new stuff currently in the Season 1 game. And overall, pretty good, I'd say. Really excited to see everything else that's with this. I haven't actually played it yet, so we're going to...
Real quick, I want to see...
Really excited to see everything else that's with this. I haven't actually played...
Okay, so the dailies, you get 30, 60, 90, 180, 210. 210 for dailies, right? So you get 210 for dailies, but that's... So you get 7 a day? You get 7 a day, or you get less than 7 a day? I think you got 4, didn't you? You get 4 a day. So technically you only get, what, 120 a day? You could stack them, right? So if you didn't play one day, they'll all be there. But you get 120, or do you get all of this?
Played it yet, so we're going to actually start streaming as soon as I'm done uploading this video. But for now, I'll see you guys all next.
It shouldn't be too bad. Like, I have chrono tokens left over, which I'm kind of pissed about. That I want to spend them, but you know, you can't spend them on anything. I think maybe what they should do is maybe like a 2-to-1 conversion ratio or something like that. Not the ones that you paid for. Obviously, the ones that you got for free. They should do some sort of, maybe give me an option to take the chronos and put them into something else. Do you know what I mean? Convert ratio type of stuff. I don't know. Maybe if I have 2,000, I think an article talked about this. Maybe if I have 2,000 chrono tokens, maybe I get 1,000 for the next season type of thing. I still think it doesn't hurt anybody because it would force me to buy the season pass anyway, right? You're putting skins like that in the season pass, you're gonna get people to buy it. They're so clean, so good looking, man. They're doing a fantastic bang up job by putting these skins. That Iron Man skin. I mean, here, I'll go back real fast. The skins that they showed, one, the free skin of Thor, just for that event thing. That's awesome, right? You're getting Wanda's skin for free. Then you look at these. I mean, Loki, Wolverine, right? There's so many good skins in this season pass. And there's 10 pages. This Moon Knight looks better than the one that people got for the competitive one. Official post on Twitter. What happened? Oh, for God's sakes. Say it ain't so. Is that what I think it is? Oh, Lordy be. Lordy be. Transformers reactivate. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. For fuck's sake.
Night, which is a rare.
Go make sure you go check out the link down below for Iron Smashes Web's channel. Give it a like. Give it a like. Subscribe if you like the stuff. Oh boy. I like how everyone's tagged me. What is this? Calling all Marvel rival champions. Think you have what it takes to dominate the battlefield. Join the first ever Party Rivals tournament and prove that you and your team are unstoppable. This was just announced. Game Marvel Rivals format, competitive bracket, prize pool is $300, winner takes all. Saturday, February 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay. The Discord's link is down below. In the description down below. It's there. Studio update. Studio update. Today, we have some very difficult news to share. The decision has been made to end development of Transformers Reactivate. Unfucking believable. This means we will be scaling down and refocusing our efforts on other projects. Unfortunately, despite every effort, a number of roles across the studio are now potentially at risk of redundancy. Okay, the decision did not come lightly, and it's a difficult time for the studio and our people. We want to make a moment to thank the team who worked on Transformers for the dedication and passion. Hasbro has an incredible and supportive partner throughout, and we hope to work with them again. For many fans, your excitement and support helped us keep going. While not being able to see the game through the release is painful, having to say goodbye to friends and colleagues hurts even more, and we focus on doing everything we can to support the team through those periods. Just as it's committed to carrying on those, motherfucker. God damn it. Fucking Hasbro. Fucking Hasbro. I'll tell you what. Release the other one from Certain Infinity. Put that out there for the market. Let the people take control of it. Fucking Hasbro, man. Canceled. Well, looks like my 2025 just opened up. I was looking forward to that game, man. And it's just a fucking pipe dream. And this is why I never get excited. This is why I never get excited. This is why I never cash the check before it happens. All right. Let's go over to the next thing, which was a video submitted by Robert Jones. It's called Failed Games Are Winning. Okay. Failed Games Are Winning. Okay? It's coming from a channel called Valley B Gaming. Okay. Small channel, 530 subscribers. So let's listen to what he has to say.
State of modern games isn't all genuine. And those algorithms are precisely fanning your flames of frustration into a strong burning hatred, so much so that the smallest ripple of ideology shown in a game or a statement about a game causes waves of outrage that is then broadcast as gaming news hand-delivered to your FYP, which are the videos YouTube recommends based on your watch habits.
I said this to a couple people that came in the channel, right? Like, when we talk about games and whatnot on this channel, we just talk about news stories, have conversations about it, right? If you notice, I don't really talk about the political things, right? But if it's in gaming, we'll talk about it. And when a game comes out like Veilguard and it fails, it's not because of one set thing, it's because of certain things, right? When a game like Concord fails, it's not because of one thing, it's certain things, okay? So on this channel, we've always talked about, right, it's not just the thing. Sure, it ripples through, but if you're a person that's watching someone bitch about something, YouTube's going to feed you that algorithm, okay? And you're going to watch more of that stuff. And you're going to think it's all doom and gloom, which is not all doom and gloom, even though after the fact now Transformers Reactivate's fucking canceled.
Back in the day, terrible games like the new Dragon Age or Concord would be buried and forgotten in favor of better games. Instead, these failures are aggressively being covered with 2024 election energy. Recent discussions on political ideology in video games are valid, but should that validity overtake the games that are doing right by their customers? My concern is that this post-journalistic new media gaming space that everyone is excited about is more focused on wars, dramas, or gates.
That's 100%. Hence why I made that song called DEI and Me, right? The news journalists fan the flames to make it worse and sound worse. And if you're a gamer that just disagrees, you are the problem, right? just because you bring up your concerns, right? All you want is a game that works properly. All you want is a game that's complete. Make a game, sell a game.
Rather than great games. If you're still listening right now, perhaps your FYP is flooded with words like woke, gay, and journal, and deep down inside, you want a little refuge carved out in 2025 to love gaming again. And I want to help you with that by having you make one of two choices. You can spend 2025 prioritizing 20 different content creators covering what an insert basic employee from insert studio of anticipated game said about insert topic and stayed glued to the screen. Or you can reject whatever ideology-filled game being offered to you like you are going to do anyway, and spend more time playing the best games you can play, new or old.
True, right? And that's another thing I do on the channel. We'll talk about games like Skull and Bones that's going to come out broke, buggy, and unfinished, and it does. Okay? We'll talk about games like Outlaws, and I'll give you my opinion on the game when it comes out broke, buggy, and unfinished. Okay? We'll talk about things that I'm passionate about and that I'm interested in to play, or not interested to play, and try to give you sort of a preemptive warning, right? Again, you see all games all the time announce stuff like Transformers Reactivate got announced 2 years ago. And this is perfect timing, right? 2 years ago. They talk about it, hype it up, and then nothing happens to it. This happens all the time with movies, television shows, they get canceled, okay? Now the game comes out or not come out, okay? And we're upset. Even though they never actually gave us a date, they actually never said, this is what's happening. This is why you never cash a check, okay? You got to make sure that things are happening. This is why I'm always cautious, okay? And I was blinded by the IP because of my love of the IP of Transformers Reactivate. I'm like, no, it's coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. Well, it's not coming out, okay? And this is what happens with a lot of different games, okay? You think that it's going to be good because you like the IP. You think it's going to be great because you love or you're biased against something. But at the same time, it comes out and it is broke, buggy, unfinished, Battlefield, Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, Fallout 76, right? The list continues on and on. Outlaws, Skull and Bones, right? All of these games come out broke, buggy, and unfinished. Instead of just be quiet, work in your game, make a game, sell a game.
Welcome to my Free Flow Chronicles, where my rants have a more unfiltered takes that may even offend you. Only one way to find out, use my timestamp as needed. So,
I've been offending people all the time, so it doesn't. Hopefully, it works out better for him.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, like, dislike. I'm getting my bars off either way. Valley B Gaming. Happy New Year's, mother. 2024
He's making content. It doesn't matter.
was a year where bad games and the publishers who make them took most of the spotlights. Controversy, insider leaks, horrible game sales, hundreds of $1 million lost, studios shut down. How about this? Biased journalists defending slop, then going back on their word just to get a glimmer of the credibility they once had.
All things true. All things true.
All this has happened in the last 6 months, rivaling your favorite TV show drama. I get it. It's great to watch it all unfold. But where does that leave the good video games being covered? It's like the teacher who ignores the good student and focuses on disciplining the troublemaker.
Right. And this is why I don't make videos. Obviously, all the videos I make, guys, is live, right? I make uploads based off of the live content, but most of the time I don't make content and jump on the bandwagon of this and that. I look at it from a different perspective. I kind of read the room before I make my assumptions or speculations or opinion pieces on stuff, because I don't fall for most of the stuff that they put, because I know they're going for clicks. I know that everyone's doing their job, right? Articles are written because they need to get clicked. They get clicks, they get paid, right? YouTubers are making content because if you watch their content, they get paid. You can't hate the game, right? Because that's what the game is. Make as much money as possible. And here I am, just doing my own shit, just having opinions, having conversations with you guys, talking about topics and conversations of articles and videos and whatnot.
We say that we love the great games of 2024, but our time and devotion has been given to countless different channels covering the same controversial events. Believe it or not, All of this is coming from someone who echoes the same anger at mainstream publishers and journalists for abandoning their commitment to elevating the games industry in favor of pushing ideologies. After reflecting on 2024, I'm asking myself, why am I giving these compromised publishers the valued emotion?
I like how Altern says, I see the wound is still fresh, I see. Fresh? It happened 10 minutes ago, Altern. What would you like me to do?
Of my anger when I know I'm not giving them my money anyway. Instead, they deserve my indifference, which is why I'm campaigning 2025 to be a year where good games get attention and bad games get little to no mention. Look,
I mean, I've been doing that. We don't make 15 videos on shit games, right? We only talk about the content that's in the news cycle, but we mostly talk about good games and we look at games that people are interested in playing.
Look, let me tone down a bit. Usa, trying to get excited here. I'm not telling you to stop jumping for joy when sellout publishers and or journalists are crashing and burning, but why give them the front page every time? For example, why are we giving insignificant people the power to troll us as gamers? Intergalactic Homegirl said a 3-word response to the controversial trailer, and the internet gaming community danced like puppets, as if we are in fact mad, bro. We already said the character's fugly. We object.
Right, move on. Right. Don't sit there and belate the point of why it's happening. Just say it and move on.
Actively dislike the trailer. So why are we
I go back and talk about Battlefield and Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky and Fallout and all these broken buggy games to use that as an example of the next game that comes out that they try to sell you for hundreds of dollars, okay, and drag you across the next year and a half because those are examples of other games that did it before and they're going to continue doing it.
the same gamers who unanimously deemed Intergalactic as certified future trash give our continued time, attention, and coverage to the supposed next Concord? Where's the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 hype? Which I'm currently playing the first one, by the way. Where's the 10 best things to look forward to in the next anticipated game? And God knows there's a lot of them. Next, we have Dragon Age the Velguard that also had a lot of controversial coverage and statements said. However, it's a bit different, right? Because the game sucked. Not the controversy, the game.
I think it's a blanket. Is it a towel? Looks like a blanket.
From the first time we saw the preview gameplay and dialogue to the time it came out, it was dog water. This game actually deserves scrutiny as an anticipated title from a big studio. Same goes with Concord, AC Shadows. We saw how bad the game looked. It does get a little interesting with Avowed, which I covered before. Matt Hansen's statement towards Elon Musk was foolish and puts the whole project in jeopardy. And this was said by a former Gears of War dev. The caveat is, the game's not out yet, and from what I saw...
Hey, it sounds familiar. Game's not out yet for Intergalactic. The game's not out yet for Fable. The game's not out yet for a lot of games that I can't judge the game for what I can look at it and go, it looks interesting. I can say stuff like that, but I can't tell you the game is shit because all we saw was a cutscene for The Witcher 4, right? All we saw was a cutscene for Intergalactic. All we saw was... So you can hate something. You can say it looks like shit, but we don't know what it is until it actually comes out.
It kind of looks good. We don't know if it plays good. We don't know if it is good. However, Reddit, Twitter, YouTube is filled with headlines like Avowed will flop. Avowed is officially bad. Come on. At this point, do we even look like a gaming community anymore? It'd be a month after Matt Hansen's statement and my go-to content creators talking about...
I mean, look at what's happened, right? Concord got shown. Concord came out. 12 days later, it closed down. The day before, a year and a half, it was the most popular game for pre-orders. It came out 2 days later, it was closed. The studio closed. Okay? There's games that get so hyped up, and they come out, and then they're just gone. X-Defiant, 5 years in development. It's not even out 6 months, and they're closing the doors and shutting it down in 5 months, right? Suicide Squad, okay, was supposed to be a game that lasted 5 years. It lasted a year, basically. Okay, 2 years when they're all said and done. But all of this stuff was supposed to happen one way, and it didn't happen.
About some, no one will ever going to get this game. I'm not buying it. It's what, bruh. This is your 10th video on this. We know what you think. We know your analysis. I'm not going to lie. That's when I realized I was going a little bit too deep.
He saw the wizard. He saw the wizard behind the curtain. He was like, yeah, I believe in all this stuff. I believe in the Wizard of Oz behind the thing. Oh, wait a minute. Who's that? What's that behind there? Ah, it's fucking old dude behind there, man.
Deep into this culture war stuff. For example, you have to remember when legitimate grifters made a lot of us look dumb weeks ago when they called Indiana Jones woke.
Here's the thing, though. Let me put this perspective out there for you. If you like a shitty, broken, buggy game and you're having fun, then it's not really shitty, broke, or buggy for you, right? You're just having fun with it. So let me put this in the same type of analogy. If you're watching a grifter content creator, are you having fun? Are you watching them? Are you being entertained? If the answer is yes to both of these things, then none of these things are wrong if you like it. If you like watching a YouTube video of a person shitting on something and you're being entertained, that's what it's doing. It's a piece of entertainment. If you're playing a game and even though it's broke, buggy, and unfinished, if you're enjoying it and you defend it, just know that it's a broke, buggy game. But if you're having fun, then it's filling the void for you. You're enjoying it because it's fun for you.
And agenda-driven, only to find out that when it came out, it was a commercial success. And it's even being considered one of Xbox's best exclusives. That's coming to PlayStation in a few weeks, so we won't talk about that. 2 words for
What game is coming out?
came out, it was a commercial success. And it's even being considered one of Xbox's best exclusives. That's coming to PlayStation in a few weeks, so we won't talk about that. 2 words for you: reserve judgment. Shout out to you if you had the mindset to say, I'll watch the reviews first. Ideally speaking, we make for a...
Which you should do. If you're interested in something, instead of pre-ordering blindly, and then the game comes out broken, buggy, and then it fixed over the time frame, you should wait day one, week one, watch reviews, watch people that play it, not people that get handed the game to give you a biased opinion about it or got flown to Disney World to give you a review. Wait for actual people to get their hands on, review the game, tell you about stuff, right? Indiana Jones came out a month ago. I put up a video yesterday about my thoughts after 40 hours of Indiana Jones, okay? Hopefully someone that's on the cusp or finds that video down the road, looks at it and goes, oh, right? I didn't rush through the game to get that video out 10 seconds after it launched, right? I played it over the month, put my thoughts together, and then put a video out there for people. And it's not a review. It's my thoughts on it, telling you what's in the game. Okay? Never done content like that before, but I put it out there. And that's what people should look at. People should look at other content creators, other people going, yeah, I put in 60 hours of that game, and this is my thoughts on it. You're like, you know what? I like Indiana Jones. I like the music. I like the gameplay. It all sounds really good, so maybe I should pick it up.
A better gaming community if we give these publishers a little bit more of the silent treatment until the game comes out and bombs. Don't we already do a good job knowing if a game sucks before it comes out? You know.
You give it the smell test. You look at it. You get visuals. You're like, that game doesn't look good. Right?
Watch your favorite content creators review, perhaps a Twitch stream, while keeping away from mainstream gaming media. Well, I'm going to end with a small clip from Sungrand Studios in regards to covering political gaming topics.
I really don't want to put on the suit and tie because this topic bums me out. I don't like doing those industry speeches.
I've seen this guy on YouTube, but I've never watched his stuff. I think I've seen Asmongold respond to this person.
I only ever do them because it is required of me. Because people are asking me to speak.
What is okay, hold on, let me rewind here.
In regards to covering political gaming topics.
I really don't want to put on the suit and tie because this topic bums me out. I don't like doing those industry speeches. I only ever do them because it is required of me. Because people are asking me to speak out for them, to fight on their behalf, to help their voices be heard. It's such a bummer of a topic. So today I don't want to talk about that stuff. I would love.
Yeah, we talked about it about 15 minutes ago. Worlds.
And I seldom use that word. I would love to not have to ever discuss that topic again, because it is
We actually didn't talk about it. I just read it and then moved on.
a bummer. It's dull. It's boring. It's not interesting. It goes around in circles because the people in the woke cult refuse to listen. That's their whole thing, is they block out reality, they block out other people, and they destroy anyone else that doesn't echo their manifesto.
It's true. They just go la 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 la. Okay, now I'm gonna speak.
And so there's no point in discussing.
I like the honesty of not wanting to cover political issues in games. But the interesting comment is at the end, where he mentions the woke mob won't intentionally listen.
Because they don't care. They don't care. The people that care, right? No, both sides don't do that, Travis. If you're saying both sides, you're saying you're now taking it as the left and the right. He's talking about a group of people using this to do something, right? If that's left or right, doesn't matter. We're talking about gamers and the people that are trying to destroy what gamers like. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? If you're talking political parties, yeah, each side has their own bubbles they stay in. Cool. Okay? But we're talking about gamers that want to play games and gamers that don't want to be told that they're racist, sexist, misogynistic for liking or not liking certain things. Make a game, sell a game, buy the game, play the game. Those are the options we have. They make a game and they sell the game. We buy the game and play the game, or not buy the game and not play the game. And if we choose not to buy or play that game, doesn't mean that I'm a sexist, racist, or misogynistic person. It just means your game didn't look good enough for me to purchase and play. That's what that means.
That's the part I reflect on. No matter how strong and logical the points are, some publishers choose not to be reasoned with, even to the detriment of quality. Ask Ubisoft, who's allegedly prepared to sell their crumbling company. Aspects of this correlates to me in my personal life, as I've had people that I love and cared about reject.
Is that what that guy's name is, Robert Jones, the one with the green screen behind him? Sungran?
Sound advice and go down a certain path, and you have no choice but to cut ties with them.
Travis says, okay, here's the problem. There are people out there who would seriously say if they have a gay character in the game, period, it shouldn't exist. People did what with that with Final Fantasy 16. Here's the problem with what you're saying, right? If I just take what you're saying and that's it, then you would be correct. But you are focusing on one person that had a Twitter account that has 0 followers and it was shared 1,000 times. And now everyone thinks that the majority of gamers are sexist, racist, and misogynistic because of the 0.0000000%. Okay? Like, that's the problem. Okay? Instead of taking that and amplifying it, just like this man is saying, okay? Instead of taking that and running with it, going, oh, well, there's people. Of course there's people out there. Of course there's racists out there. Of course there's people out there that hate people. Of course there's people that hate whatever, okay? But why are we amplifying those people and not the millions of other people that don't think that way?
I'm not even talking about substance abuse. Everything's a metaphor for life, right? Even video game trauma. Overall, as a 2025 man with a 2024 FYP, I told myself when it comes to consuming entertainment, I want to fully cut ties with bad media. My time and goals are more valuable now, more than ever, and I hope I'm speaking for you too.
All right, I'm gonna pause that and read some more here because let's see here. Crowded says it's amazing to me how many people work in the entertainment industry and don't understand that the only reason they have a job is because of fans. Why would you shit on fans? Because they're fucking morons. And they think that the grass is greener on the other side, house, and they think that because we have a cap, right? So because the money's drying up, well, what are we supposed to do? And they're like, well, there's an untapped resource over here of people that are not watching or playing these things, right? And they're like, well, let's go over there. What do they like? And that's what they try to go towards. Meanwhile, alienating all the people that gave them the jobs originally. Okay, that's what they're doing. Solomon is, I keep my son away from that stuff, and it does his mother. So I'm the people who prefer those types of people to be in the game personally. And everyone has that right, Argus, right? But doesn't mean you're a hateful person, right? But what Travis is saying is there's people out there that are like where they just hate people because it's that. That's their given right. But if a game like Concord failed, how many people are out there that just don't want to be preached to or told a shitty product, and it's because of being someone's gay or transgender in the thing, or it could just be a shitty game, right? But they don't tell you about the shitty part of the game. They tell you it's because of this. Travis says, so wait, so Asmongold is part of a small percentage because he's all of those things not being called he is. Travis, you understand that no matter how big Asmongold is and how many people are watching him, if it's 3 million, if it's 5 million, how many people are in the United States? Do you know that answer? Like 340 million people. Okay. Now, how many people are in the world? Okay. So yes, Asmongold is a very small percentage of people that are playing video games that are watching his content, and a small percentage of those people that are hateful in any way, shape, or form, okay, is still the 0.00001%.
Ask me if I'll ever check out a new Ubisoft game. Ask me if I care about what a they-them journalists say about people who don't buy Dragon Age. Better yet, 5 different YouTubers covering it. Hey, do you really want to be a political activist when it comes to entertainment? The truth is, you don't have to defend the entertainment media as hard as you are. Why? Because capitalism works 10 times more than your political outrage. For example, Disney forced political ideologies in their movies and TV shows. No one watched. They lost billions of dollars. Just talked about Ubisoft crumbling, right? Because not a lot of people play. Concord, same thing. $400 million down the toilet along with the studio that made it. Your outrage made little impact. Why? Because the games and or movies already sucked. You don't need to ring the alarms for games that are terrible. It does that on its own. What's awesome is that's only the first half.
Yeah, but Travis, you say if you don't like it, don't buy it. That's simple. Correct. It is that simple. And that's exactly what people did. And when they don't buy something, they're called sexist, racist, misogynistic people because of certain things in the game. It's just not, they don't want to buy it. It's that simple.
Of capitalism. The second half are companies that swoops in and takes advantage of Disney's mistake, like Mario and Sonic. And no, they were not at the Olympics. They were at the box office taking Disney's money that they left on the table. On the video game side, you got Wukong, Stellar Blade, Astrobot, Space Marines 2 that swoops in. Better yet, you have Baldur's Gate 3 that swoops in with straight up excellence to the point where mainstream mediocre devs with twice the budget of BG3 were crying about.
See, I'll turn. They look at it as a failure. This is why Veilguard and Concord failed, because people didn't buy it. This is why it succeeded. We succeeded because we didn't buy it. You see how that works? Everyone's like, oh, it failed. No, we're like, no, it didn't. It worked exactly how it was supposed to work. We didn't want it. It didn't get sold.
How gamers shouldn't expect the same excellence from them. How about Marvel Rivals on the verge of completely replacing Overwatch? The truth is, some of you who are politically passionate are fighting a battle that is already won, and all you have to do is enjoy playing good games and ignoring the bad ones. Games have been so helpful to our lives, and it's best that gaming...
This is why I always take the stance, and I don't talk about... Like, we talk about DEI stuff, right? But I don't say that's why the game failed. We talk about why the game failed, and, you know, them releasing a game and then fixing it over 18 months is the fucking problem, okay? Coming out with a game, preaching to you about certain things is the problem, okay? That's what it is, okay? We don't sit here and be like, oh, day 54 of why this game is sucking. No, we're like, Skull and Bones was delayed 4 times. Why? Why was it delayed 4 times? You want to buy it? Cool. Just know it's been delayed 4 times. It's got this much money. It's been changed. Oh, I'm sorry. It was delayed 7 times. It was changed 4 times in the development process. Those are signs of things that you shouldn't buy the game because they don't even know what it is, right? That's what we do here.
Remains a priority, even in the midst of a trend where compromised parts of the gaming industry are starting to get exposed. Well, I done free-flowed a pretty thought-provoking conversation with you, and you stuck it through. This simply means you would be an amazing fit for our community that aims to make appreciating games a focal point. So I hope you hit the subscribe button and
Good luck to
turn on
him.
the bell thingy. Right now, I have 500 subscribers and growing, which I'm grateful for. Don't let me rant by myself. Join me in the comments below with any thoughts, comments, or questions. Your boy's pretty active, so thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
It's a good video. It's a good video. He's putting himself out there. Good luck to him, because I've been doing basically the same thing. I don't shit on things and make negative content. I just make content for things I'm interested in. We talk about news, have conversations, and you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, but stick to what you want to do. Right? That's the best thing to be. All right, let's see here. So go check them out. Valley B Gaming. Description's down below in the description down below. We already talked about Bethesda. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. I had a situation with my son's teacher where she threatened to riot at my house and labeled me and my wife transphobic because I didn't like her teaching my 10-year-old about ideological insane. That is insane, Worlds. Right? And the fact that, just like he said, that side just closes their ears. They don't care what you have to say. They're just like, la, 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 la. It doesn't matter. Like, you're teaching my son or daughter or something that I don't agree with that you shouldn't be teaching in the school. Just stick to the books. Teach them 2 + 2. Teach them how to spell. Teach them about history. But don't teach them about stuff that you're not supposed to teach them about, which is a completely different conversation. I never rage bait, Travis. I never rage bait. I talk about what I talk about because that's what we want to talk about, right? You guys submit hundreds of stories, and I look at them and go, When I go on GXG, the leftover ones that we didn't talk about throughout the week, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to talk about this. I talked to Sarge. I'm like, I don't think we need to bring this up. This is not really news, right? Like, certain things is not news. Certain things is just articles written because they need to get the clicks, and it's not really news, and we don't talk about it. You can submit. Anyone can submit anything they want. Doesn't mean I'm going to talk about it. World says people just want standards and have fun. That's it. I just want a game that's working at launch that I paid for. That's it. I shouldn't be called a misogynistic racist. I shouldn't be called transphobic in any way, shape, or form. I just want a game that works, okay? Not to be fixed over the next year and a half. Pepsi Gaming says, should play the Transformers Reactivate trailer one last time. No, I'm good. I'm good. Mo says, just can I just play games and have fun and not worry about what other people think about me having fun? Yes, I can. The only thing I've ever stuck by, Mo, is games coming out that are not broke. I don't want people to buy games, and obviously Game Pass is a completely different thing. I don't want people to buy games that comes out broke because they don't fix it. Yeah, YouTube's doing a thing, Jones, where it's taking smaller content creators and pushing them out, which is nice, right? It's not suppressing new content creators because YouTube's learned that the more people they show, the more ad revenue they get. I will make a Transformers Reactivate song. I will. We'll make one. Robert Jones says, teach kids how to balance a checkbook and play taxes or pay taxes. I don't think they have to learn about a checkbook. People still pay you with checks. Mo says, "Yep, that's great to stick by because they shouldn't broke when they launch. That's a standard I like. That's it. That's all I ever wanted. Make a game, sell a game. Make a game, sell a game." And here's the thing. Everyone says that Game Pass games are bad games. Well, that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle pushes against that, right? Pushes against that. That game came out. It's a complete game. It's a phenomenal game. Okay. Right. Do I agree that majority of the games that can come out on Game Pass be broken buggy because they don't have to put and no one's paying for it? Sure. But there's a lot of games on Game Pass that didn't come out broken buggy, right? Forza Horizon 5, fantastic game. Wasn't broken buggy when it came out. Tango Gameworks, when they had Hi-Fi Rush, didn't come out broken buggy. Was fantastic. Okay? These are all games that were on Game Pass. Eclipse says, I don't care. People play. They can play what they want. I just don't tell me I didn't play it because of sexist, homophobic, whatever you want to call me. I didn't play it because it didn't look bad. It's exactly right. Right? Black Myth Wukong came out. It's not a bad game. I have no interest in it. Right? That's why I didn't buy it. That's why I didn't play it. It's not my type of cup of tea. Don't hate it in any way, shape, or form. But there's people out there running because it wasn't diverse enough. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Roadkill says, but Game Pass games always launch buggy brokey, but also okay with that. No, they don't always come out broken buggy. Think about this, Roadkill. There's more games that come out broken buggy that are not on Game Pass than on Game Pass. So that statement is false. But if you, and I'm not saying you personally, but if a person out there is a one console side to the other, then run whatever you want to run with to make yourself feel better about your plastic box. Altern says, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that should be taught in school. How about financial education? Do you know how many people they don't know how to credit score or credit card works? Oh yeah, it's phenomenal how many people don't know. If everyone knew how to balance a budget, the economy would probably crash. Right? What's going on today? I need to finish Black Myth. It was great. I started Indiana, but it feels off for me. What feels off about it, El Dente? What's is it the is it the first person that it's not third person? Wukong is good game with performance issues. Well, here's the great thing about this, right? We talk about that the Paul Tassi thing. Who's lying? Microsoft, Paul Tassi, GameWorks, or Sony, right? And we do know, and I brought it up the other day when we were talking about it. Like, Game Science talked about how we know it's bad performance on the PlayStation, okay? But yet everyone's blaming that it's Microsoft, the Series S, that they can't optimize it. Well, how about it's the developers that can't optimize because they couldn't optimize it for PlayStation? So how are they going to optimize it for Series S? You see what I'm saying? So, like I said the other day, both things could be true. The people that don't know how to optimize could be the problem. And also, Microsoft could also be the problem because they're saying it's not the S, and it could be the S. But it seems like an inexperienced dev team that released a game that was solid, but at the same time not solid. But if a game is fun enough, people look past the flaws. Did you buy it, El Dente? It says, yeah, there's something about how it moves and feels. It just isn't sticking for me. I said that in my overview. I said that the fighting mechanics feel a little bit clunky when you're playing. Right? It's fun to use like the objects to smash people over the head and stuff, and it's fun. Never gets old. But the fighting seems a little bit off. It's bad performance everywhere. Yeah, but people will look past the words that they have problems with optimizing it on the PlayStation 5, but it's 100% Microsoft's fault. Waterbear says it's not bad performance on PC. That's all I'm saying. Sure. And all I'm saying is that Game Science had problems with the performance issues on the other console. So is it the S's fault or is it the developer's fault? El Dente says, "Nah, I'm using Game Pass. That game never looked like a purchase for me. Isn't that great though? You didn't waste money buying that specific game. You just have the service that you can play." Jack said, "I had one bug in Indiana Jones where Gina was supposed to bring the torch and keep the scorpions away from me and never moved from her location. I had 2 bugs. There was one bug where I killed a guy. He fell through. It was happened the last night. He fell through the map and then started like floating on top of the boards or whatnot. And I forget the other one. I forget. It wasn't even a big one, but that was it." Let's see. Eclipse, I mean, they said they didn't have experience to optimize on the S. Right. But people did this when they read the article. They're like, "What's that? They didn't have experience?" Oh, well, that's the Xbox Series S's fault. Like, they said they didn't have experience doing it on the S. They had problems on the PlayStation 5 running smooth. Roadkill says, "Come on, Mike. It's a S. We all know it. We all know it. But we do know that it's not running well on the PlayStation 5, Roadkill. So I know 2 plus 2 is 4. And if Game Science can't optimize it for the PlayStation 5, the most powerful console on the market, how the fuck are they going to optimize it for the lower console on the market when the developers are inexperienced and can't optimize it, and it's going to take them a long time, hence the words out of their own mouth?" Travis says, "30, actually, whatever happened wasn't here. Wasn't there supposed to be an Escape from New York game? Did it get canceled?" I think it's still in the works. Didn't we read an article like 6 months ago talking about Escape from New York? But if the Series S didn't exist, it could run on the X since it's running on the PlayStation 5. Correct. It would run on the X just as poorly as it's running on the PlayStation 5. You're absolutely right, Krebsy. But because the S is the crux, it's not coming to the X because it has to run parity on both the X and the S. But you're right. It would be on the X running just as poorly as it is on the PlayStation 5. Rokia says, "Yeah, I can't beat the last boss because of inputs." Is that true? Nate says, I have an S and I have a PlayStation 5, and I didn't know why the S get shit on so much, because going from the my S to the PlayStation 5, I can't really tell the difference much other than the memory. Nate, and I'm not making fun of you in any way, shape, or form, but that is the majority of gamers. The majority of gamers can't tell the difference or know the difference between what's happening with the systems. They just play the game and enjoy the game on the system. Majority. Altern says, "Of course the devs are the fault, too, because they also haven't optimized it yet. But it's better not to release it unoptimized than what CD Projekt Red 2077 or Cyberpunk 2077 did." Right. The game is on PlayStation, but it runs poorly. Right? It's not on Xbox because they can't get it to run. So, again, would you rather a game come out unoptimized and broke, or would you rather have the game come out when it's not unoptimized and broke? Now, obviously, it could come out on the X and S whenever it comes out, and it could have the exact same problems that's happening on the PlayStation 5, and they still release it broke, buggy, and unfinished. Mo says it'd be better off if it's optimized for the S because it'll run better on the big boys. That's true, because they have to make it. If it runs good on the smaller hardware, then it would be better for the bigger hardware. 100%, because they would have to maximize it and condense it down to work on the lowest system, and then it would make it better for all the other systems. We've talked about this in the past, Mo. This is why when people make games for PC, they have to make sure it runs for the shittiest graphic card on the lowest scale, right? And also run on the high end scale graphic cards as well. Hence why there's a recommended and minimum and whatnot. But console guys don't understand that, right? Console guys don't understand that because there's two systems, it has to run on the lowest one before it can run on the highest one, right? That's why games, when they come out for PC, they're optimized for the low one, middle grade, and the high one. Ron Slusher says, Concord outlasted Transformers Reactivate. Well, it didn't outlast it. Like, one got to the starting line, and one didn't. Ron. I mean, you're correct. Transformers didn't even come out. Concord launched and failed in 12 days. So, there you go. Let's see. Yeah, we read it earlier, El Dente. Transformers Reactivate, the splash damage basically is getting rid of people. They're getting rid of redundancies. They're firing people, and they cancel Transformers Reactivate. Krebsy says, but optimizing for the S would limit what the game can do, hence the Baldur's Gate 3 not shipping split screen, or the S at the same with Halo cutting split screen. Sure, but those both cases are with split screen, right? Optimization stuff separate, but the split screen, obviously the optimization for split screen, but both those games have split screen, right? Is this game having split screen? I don't think so. It's a single player game, right? So one person's problem is different than the other person's problem. Because of the memory of the S, has a problem doing the split screen. This doesn't have split screen in it. Black Myth Wukong is a single player game with no split screen, so they have different problems than the optimization of split screen that Baldur's Gate 3 had and also Halo had. In the bigger picture, you're saying, yeah, the S is a problem because they can't work with it because of optimization. But the developers for Black Myth Wukong, Game Science, said out of their own mouth they're not experienced enough for optimization for that type of system. That's like me being a plumber. I don't know anything about being a plumber. My skill set, I could put pipes together, but it probably wouldn't be the best job. World says, I've also preferred Xbox, but they also made mistakes, the gen making two different consoles and requirements. Sure. And this is why I said they shouldn't come out with a handheld, because with their parity thing that they have now, if they come out with a handheld for Microsoft, where now let's say it's parity across the X, the S, and the handheld, well, then the handheld's going to be holding people back as well. Because it's not like the handheld's coming out for next gen, if the next gen system is Xbox's next gen, and they're just going to drop the X and the S. Right? That's not how it's going to work. Oh, says, didn't Larian set a 30% boost for performance? Yes, they did. Dente. Oh, I'm not a plumber, but man, your boy can lay pipe. I've been playing the hell out of I've been playing the hell out of Hell Let Loose, but I've been playing Hell Let Loose with my Puerto Rican friends, and that's a lot of fun when I go in on a role play. That's a fantastic game. A lot of people slept on that game, El Dente. Hell Let Loose is phenomenal. I mean, we played it. Obviously, I can't play it on stream very often because it's slow moving. It's not Call of Duty, and everyone's attention spans like a fucking flea. So they're like, he's just running across the board. So we don't really play it, but it's a fantastic game. Right? SARS talks about it all the time. Right? I couldn't play it with the squad. I got kicked from the squad that we were in because I didn't put enough time in. I got booted from the guild because I didn't have enough time. That's true, Travis. I could read the meter more than the guy that was getting paid $35 an hour. Yeah, I could read the meter. He couldn't. I think it's the S that's running it. Not the S. I'm sorry. The Steam Deck, and I believe we had this conversation the other day, Ghost Wolf. I think that the Steam Deck has more smart memory or whatever, and I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm talking about. The other day we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it the other day, and someone said that there was, I think it was Akuta Papa, there's more smart memory in the Steam Deck than it was for the S. Hell let loose, Sarge. Hell let loose. So the Xbox devs and technicians must also not be experienced, since Redfall, Starfield, Hellblade 2, Avowed all released or will be releasing at 30 frames per second. Sure. Again, these are two different completely stories, right, Krebsy? And I would agree with you that if the Xbox developers can't have their own technicians work with stuff while they're releasing the game, but all of those games, while they're releasing those games, if they release them in a finished state but not running well, that's still a broken, buggy, unfinished game, and I'm against that. Okay, but if the game comes out, Redfall is just like Concord. It's a 1 out of a million that it came out and it was actually broken, buggy. Starfield was the most polished game that Bethesda's ever released. Okay, Hellblade seems like it was rushed and was more like a tech demo, and Avowed's being sabotaged right now because we can't say anything about the actual game. Is being sabotaged by the art director of Matt Hansen, right? But yeah, you could be right. But the Xbox devs, technicians must also not be experienced. But they didn't say that out loud, and Game Science did, and these are facts. Travis says, 30, just an idea, but maybe all these dev companies should quit hiring people out of college, throwing them into the deep end. Don't start them Assassin's Creed. Maybe start at the lower level. These are different. This is a completely different conversation. There's people talking about it, and I can't go into depth with it because I really don't know. But there's people being hired because of not what they know, but who they know. Where they said that most of the people who are playing Assassin's Creed have never even made a game before. I mean, okay, let's see how it plays out. It might be a fun game, and it might be a banger, and then all of a sudden it's a great game, and they put it out there. But then there's Concord, there's Redfall, with people that were experienced at what their job was, and they made those really lame ass games. So, Altered says, yeah, the Steam Deck has more memory in the Steam Deck due to it has the 16 RAMs, and 4 of those can be used for VRAM, meaning that it's also 12 RAM for VRAM, making it possible to run games at least 720p. Yeah, I'll agree with you, Krebsy, that they shouldn't release the game if it's not optimized for the 60 frames per second. They fix it and it comes out later, which this is why I don't really like games that come out broke, buggy, and unfinished. Not all 3 at the same time. They're either broke, they're either buggy, or they're unfinished, or all 3, or 2 of the 3, right? Altern says, Mo is not at 60 frames per second. It's unlocked frame, meaning that it can be 40 frames, 50 frames, or 60 frames, but you will never know because they never optimized Starfield for 60 frames specifically. I thought they did, Altern. Didn't they go back? I could have sworn that it was optimized now for 60 frames. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see. Starfield locked at 60 frames on PC. Yes, the game of Starfield has an update that allows players to run the game at 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X and S. Update released on May 15th of 2024. The update includes 60 frames per second mode as other improvements. Frame rate options can choose between 30, 40, and 60 or uncapped frames per second option. Visual performance players can prioritize between visual performance for each mode, or Bethesda recommends picking performance for 60 FPS or above. VRR displays running at 120 hertz. The game defaults to 40 frames while prioritizing visuals. Improved surface maps. The update includes improved surface maps to make the game planets. I don't give a shit about that stuff. So it does run at 60. Travis says 30. Hasn't it always been who you know? And yeah, but if it's who you know, I can get a job. So let's say I'm on a factory line. Okay, Travis, back in the day. Maybe I don't get the job on the actual factory line, but maybe I get the job because I know a guy and I get to do the packing, which is a lower tier job, and not being thrown in to where I could fuck up millions of dollars worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So sure, you can get your foot in the door by knowing somebody, but knowing somebody and putting you in a position you're not qualified for are two different things. Altern says that's the last news I read from Starfield. I might be wrong, and if I was, I'll accept that. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I wasn't like, you're wrong, Altern. I had to look it up and read it. So, yeah. Fallout 4 had an update, and it was awful. Did they ever fix it? I think they fixed that as well. When it came out, it was broke, which then broke Fallout London. And then Fallout 4 did an update, and I think fixed that, if I'm not mistaken, Crowded. Yeah, Alter, I will never be like the person that's like, I'm right, you're wrong type of thing. If I don't know something, I'm going to look it up. I don't know everything. And I don't pretend to know everything either. I fuck up all the time. Get corrected all the time. Keeps me humble. All right, let me see. I like how Transformers Reactivate update says, I was right, I've been right. Yeah, I love people when they talk like that. I was right, I've always been right. Let me go back to the old tweets of Transformers Reactivate updates in the beginning where they were hyping up the game. Ghost Wolf says, last time I played Fallout 4, about a month ago, it was good for me. Let me look it up. I think Fallout 4 had an update as well. Let's see. General stability improvements, fixed visual issues with certain image spaces, auto HDR re-enabled on Xbox Series S and X, fixed an issue where the reserved space was not displayed correctly in load order menus, fixed an issue where more name field and also widescreen mode. It looks like they had this goes back to, when was this implemented? Yeah, May 13th. They had a patch back in May. Yeah, it was May when they fixed it. Altered says, well, Transformers Reactivate is dead. Time to play Warframe. Close my eyes and imagine Optimus Prime telling me the mission objectives. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm still processing the entire thing being canceled. Like, how the fuck do you fuck up an IP? Right? How do you manage to fuck up an IP that bad? Not only did they move from Certain Infinity and Bulkhead, no, I'm sorry, Certain Infinity and Digital Extreme, then gave it to Splash Damage and Bulkhead, then dragged us along for 2 years, and now say it's canceled. Like, across the board, management and just company not knowing their fucking IP. So that G.I. Joe game, which is in the works by Hasbro as well with some company, that's not going to make it either. There's no way. Hasbro has fucked up their IPs so bad, man. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me. It's crazy to me that you release a Transformers fucking kart racing game. You release a Transformer open-esque world type of shitty Bumblebee game where it's terrible looking. And then the game that you were looking forward to, you completely abandon. Fucking mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Yeah, exactly, Altern. Like, you're attached to my brain, right? The racing game, okay, got fucking released. Like, what? What the fuck? It's amazing. The last piece of content that I created for Transformers Reactivate was over a year and a half ago. When the leaks came out originally after the Video Game Awards show in 2022, right? 2022? When we first started the channel. We made Transformers Reactivate, and then I didn't make it again. So I was like, we'll wait. Wasn't Transformers 1 sequel canceled? I don't know if it was canceled. They made good money. I don't know if they canceled. They could. Wouldn't surprise me, Titan. Hasbro is such a shit company. It's a toy company that doesn't want to make toys. Imagine that. This is why Sarge calls them Hasblo. Can always play Optimus Prime in Fortnite. That hurts. That hurts. No, I refuse to give Hasbro money. They can die. They can fold and die. I would rather the franchise or Hasbro burn to the ground than have a shitty version of Transformers that they've kept making. I have my comics. The comic run right now is fantastic. The comic book run right now is fantastic. Right, Eclipse? That'll happen. That'll happen because it's already out there for people, right? People already downloaded it. All they have to do is now release it, now considering that Hasbro is not making the game. So if they're not going to make money off of it, then it should just be opened up for people. What if some fans make something of Transformers Reactivate in Fortnite? It all depends on what it is. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one kept me entertained for a day. It's Fortnite to me is just, that's just what it is. It's a skin. I want a game. I want like actual like abilities and different things. Imagine that you cancel a game. What we showed you footage of what Transformers Reactivate looked like, okay, from years ago, okay? They just took the last 2 years to update to Unreal Engine 5 from Unreal Engine 4. Put all that time in, and then they decide to close down, right? To close it down, to stop making it. Imagine wasting all that time and money. This is why they took down the original trailer that they put up. They took it down back in 2 months ago. They removed the original one that they showed at E3, or not E3, the Game Awards show in 2022. And everyone's like, well, why did they do that? It must have been a mistake. And they came out and said, oh, no, we're on it. We know there's a problem with the... They're fucking lying the entire time. They knew this was getting canceled this entire time, and they just kept letting people talk about it. No, it's canceled. Done, Sarge. Done. All we have now is this. This is the last Transformers game to come out. Hold on, let me show you. What's it called? Galactic Trials. This right here is the last Transformers game that came to actual market. A fucking kart racing game. Fucking depressing. I might go play War of Cybertron just to clear my palate. Yeah, it's been Vagoted. Yeah, Vagoted. This piece of shit right here. Play solo. Yeah, because no one's going to play this game. Hasbro was like, yeah, put this out. This looks fantastic. Fucking amazing. Machine Game comes out with a spot-on Indiana Jones game. And Hasbro's got their thumb up their fucking ass going, what do we do? What do we do with our Transformers game? What about if we made Optimus Prime cook? What about if we made a chef game and Bumblebee's in the kitchen? Jesus fucking Christ. I'm coping my own way, guys. I'm coping my own way. Travis says, I'm so glad I'm not a Transformers guy. It sounds painful. Don't worry, Peter Cullen's being 83 will be alive for when the actual Transformers game releases. I think he's done voicing it, isn't he not? They didn't even. I don't even think they asked him to do the movie. They didn't even ask him to do the movie for Transformers 1. Imagine not asking Optimus Prime to actually do the movie. Oh, is he sick? All right, well, that'd be a reason why they didn't ask him to do the movie. Did they give a reason why it was canceled? Well, the actual thing that they said. Let me read it again. Today, we have some very difficult news to share. The decision has been made to end development of Transformers Reactivate. So the people that would say they're not doing it is because that would be Hasbro. Hasbro would make that decision to tell them, okay? This means we will be scaling down and refocusing our efforts on other projects. Scaling down means firing people. That's a nicer way of saying it, okay? Unfortunately, despite every effort, a number of roles across the studio are now potentially at risk of redundancy. Yeah, losing their jobs. Nice way of saying it. The decision did not come lightly, and it's a difficult time for the studio and our people. We want to make a moment to thank the team who worked on Transformers for their dedication and passion. And this is where they have to legally obligated to say Hasbro is awesome. Hasbro was an incredible and supportive partner throughout, and we hope to work with them again. To many fans, okay, our excitement and our support help keep us going. While not being able to see the game through to release is painful, having to say goodbye to friends and colleagues hurts it even more, and are now focused on doing everything we can to support them through the period. And just as we're committed to caring for those who also stay with us and then build a stronger Splash Damage for the future. So let me tell you this, right? So Splash Damage has been at conventions and everything hiring for this. They've been actively hiring for Transformers Reactivate for the last 2 years, and now they're doing nothing with it. Amazing. Amazing. So I wonder what the reason is. Maybe it was a microtransaction hell. Maybe it was just incomplete. Maybe Hasbro was just like, oh, we're done just spending money. We don't know what we want to do with it. And the last game to actually work, Transformers didn't sell well, was Galactic Trials. So because of that sales, we're deciding that we don't want to create any more Transformers games. Roadkill gifted 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, sir. He says, I know I won the bet, but here you go, 30. I appreciate it. The community won. From our gambling habits, Roadkill, the community won. Sarge says, because they don't sell toys and selling Hasbro for 3,500 people at the time doesn't float the company. They're creatively bankrupt, no longer have a vision of the company. Tell me what they sell. Yeah. Hasbro definitely pulling the plug. Oh, yeah, for sure. And they're like, well, make sure you put it. Hasbro's been incredible. Sure they are. This calls for a song. This calls for the song. Make a game, sell a game.
It starts with a spark, a vision in your mind, a world unbuilt, a hero undefined. Sketches on paper, a story to be told. Dreaming of the magic, the pixels turn to gold. Code and design, long nights in the grind. Passion's the fuel when the stars don't align. From the art to the sound, every piece in its place. Building up a masterpiece, one line of code, one face. Make a game, sell a game, bring the dream alive. With blood, sweat, and tears, it's the reason.
It's amazing.
From the heart to the screen,
just make a game, sell a game.
Through the highs, through the lows, make a game, sell a game. Debugging the chaos, fixing every bug, pouring love into levels, giving players a hug. Balancing the battles, perfecting every move, every click, every jump, it's the rhythm of the groove. Teams come together, each one plays a part. Programmers with logic, artists with heart. Composers weave the music, writers craft the lore. Every piece of puzzle to make players want more. Make a game, sell a game, it's the ultimate test. Turning sleepless nights into something that's the best. From the heart to the screen, let the passion remain. Through the highs, through the lows, make a game, sell a game.
There you go. We'll cut it short there. Make a game, sell a game. Fucking unbelievable. Oh, I'm sure. Just remember, Roadkill. When other people on YouTube start making songs and putting them in their streams, just remember where you heard it first. Where you heard it first. Did you just speed run all stages of grieving? I did. Everything I do is a game. I just sped run through all that. Don't worry. Tomorrow I will write down some lyrics and we will have a Transformers Reactivate Hasbro song, okay, tomorrow, okay? We will have a song for that tomorrow. I'm unhinged when it comes to this AI music writing shit. Or Transformers Reactivate instance, make a game and don't release it. That's right. Yeah, I will make a Transformers song. I'll probably work on it right after this show. While the juices are flowing. I gotta find time between that and playing Marvel Rivals. Oh man. You just saw me. Oh wait, what is this? What is the Sanctum thing? What is that? Eclipse? What is that? Did you just post that? At 11:19. What's that at 11? What is that? Is that the game mode? Is that the game mode? Let the anger run through you. I knew we were going through the Sanctum at some point. Okay. And I forgot. I have sound bites I could have used, right? Be like, splash damage. You fucked up Transformers and so did Hasbro.
You blew it!
Yeah, you blew it. You blew it. Okay? And you can use all of these things, right? You can use...
You serious?
There's that one. There's this one. Okay. At this point in my grieving process, we're at this point.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Okay. They come out with their lies.
Stop it. Get some help.
Right? And we have this one. How many times do we have to wait for a game? We just got to be patient.
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have: patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
And then all of this, I've taken you down.
Oh, where I land, I do not know. But here I fall down the rabbit's hole.
And that will do it for today's show. I appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till about noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, share it with your enemy. Let other people know about the channel. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We'll be back tonight playing some games with Sarge for Shooting the Shit with Sarge. Tomorrow evening, we do Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. And that'll be it. I'll see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern for Shooting the Shit. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning if you're not come out tonight for the Daily Grind. You guys have a good one. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Shine, rise and shine, the daily grind is here on time. With gaming news and fun galore, we'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty tuned in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Laughs and news, our winning blend, the show with you, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time. With gaming news and fun below, we'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Come on in, your morning fix. Your morning